challenge is real. The stakes are high. They bet big. They win big. They lose big. High stakes live action poker. Live at the bike.
That's a spot that we can.
But
go
you see
back
what I'm
and
saying,
forth.
right?
Yeah.
The hands that are going to call are going to call. The hands that are going to fold are going to fold. And there's a few on the cusp hands that might talk themselves into a call or whatever. But largely, I think you're accomplishing more by betting for value bigger and by bluffing for smaller. Because if it's going to work the same frequency of the time, then you want to get the most when you have value, and you want to lose the least when you're bluffing. So. Another hand solved.
Solved by Detective Melanie. She's on the case.
Detective Weisner, I think. A little more professional.
And a much wiser name, too. Danielle is pocket ace in the small blind. Looks like she's going to 3-bet here. So she's made 525. Jesse with the initial open of 150. Or sorry, Little Harry had the initial open of 150 with 7 Ds. Jesse flattening the button with ace king. Essentially a spot where he could have considered 4-betting.
What do we think of Danielle's 3-bet here?
I like it because she's taking advantage of the game flow. She knows Little Harry has a loose open. She knows that because of that, Jesse is more likely to call Little Harry wide. So you see two players with wide ranges, and she's looking to exploit that. And look at this turn for
now. Is that
Danielle.
Now Danielle's going to think that this is an amazing card because it also completes her opponent's range in some way, and blah blah blah. Jack's still going to call things like, Jack 10 now have equity, all this stuff. Even though, well, what I was going to say is even though it doesn't in this particular case. So I actually really like the fact that she checked.
Well, she's checking for multiple reasons. One is when her opponent calls on the flop, he obviously call with some equity. And now she can set herself up for a check raise. Which is
great, yeah.
Yeah.
The problem is when you check here and your opponent has a hand like tens, like ace jack, like maybe even a hand like queen jack or jack 10 that then checks back. That's the only problem.
Well, is Jesse that type of player to check back? Probably not.
If that's the case, then I like it.
So now if you're Danielle, what kind of sizing do you check raise to? Looks like she's made 3,800. And Jesse snap all in. Look at this.
I want to make it a size that I can now bet the river.
And Jesse gets in all the money, drawing dead. Guys, this is amazing. Everyone who says in 2015 that poker is dead, this is proof that it's not dead. They're running it twice. It's irrelevant. Danielle just has him drawing dead.
Hey, I remember that hand.
Oh, my God. I can't believe that I just
So sizing on this turn was check. Danielle checks. He makes it what?
1,600.
She makes it.
3,800. Or 30, yeah, 3,800.
And he's all in for not very much more, right? Like another 3,800 or something?
No,
like another 4K?
No, he had like 12K behind.
No, it showed that he was all in for 8.5.
No, it says 14.5 right
Or
there.
she was all in for 8.5.
No, she has, looks like she has around 8.5.
That's pretty ballsy.
And it's snap all in too. Like, I can't believe what just happened. This
Wow.
Is
Yeah, the fact that she decided to take this hand to 3-bet with, which is truly like a hand that I, like even for game flow purposes, I probably wouldn't pick this hand to do it with because I want to flop a set multi-way and things like that. So it's very cool that she decided to do that with this hand and with a hand where the utility is not necessarily in 3-betting. Like I normally would prefer with a hand like
9-4 or something like that.
No.
Not 9-4? Really?
No.
Or
I'd
just
pick
taking
like an
advantage of the
ace.
spot?
I'd pick like an ace X or a king X hand to do it with, or a hand that was like a little too weak to call, like king jack offsuit, or stuff like that. But it's very cool that she did that with this hand, and the fact that she recognized that this turn, she she chose this turn to check raise rather than try to go bet jam on, where her opponent might call down with a hand like ace jack or tens or whatever it is. Another good, very good read by Danielle for game flow.
Now, maybe she's played with this opponent before.
Yeah.
In the LA poker scene, there are a lot of people that you play with, over and over again. So maybe she has a previous read. But it's always nice to get a pretty safe double up. Just your opponent just gets it in dead.
And honestly, when your opponent snap shoves all in, like, I am not thrilled about eights whatsoever. I am not happy. And you'll see some people fold it there, actually. Because, like, his range really should be, like, nines, jacks, queen 10, and threes here. That's what it should be.
She just snap.
To make that play on the turn.
Yeah, she just snap put it in. She didn't even think twice about it.
And the reason is because people show up with hands like this.